in the mirror, man, you're so dirty. Yeah, you look so dirty. You were never worthy. Lately, it's you.
Welcome to the Jeremy Hill Show. If you're easily triggered, leave now, because this is not the show for you. Now, let me tell you something. Gentlemen, please, you have to have boundaries. You have to stand on your boundaries. A boundary is a standard, okay? Your standards are your limitations and your restraints, okay? And your standards also define your character, which would be shown through your boundaries. What you will and will not do, and what you will and will not accept from any woman or man. See, the problem is, we get with these women, speaking to the gentlemen, I'll talk to you in a minute, ladies. The gentlemen, you are getting in relationship with these women and you're not standing on your boundaries. You're not setting any boundaries. All you want to do is be with a very beautiful, gorgeous woman, and you want her to suck on your sack and give you some head, and you want to go ahead and marry her, and now you're a simp, and now you're going to get divorced in about 5 years and you lost half your shit because you didn't have any boundaries. A woman has to respect your yeses and your nos. If she doesn't do that, then she is going to be a masculine woman. She's going to be very domineering in the relationship. She's going to run you ragged. You're going to be a doormat. Now, I'm going to show you some videos. And ladies, I got something for you too. What I'm going to say to them. You need boundaries too, ladies. I'm going to tell you why. You need to have boundaries to where you're not going to be nobody's baby mama. If you're going to be foolish enough to still sleep with random men because you feel them, because they got swag, have enough damn common sense to be on plan B, some type of contraceptive, so that you won't become nobody's baby mama, which would make you damn near unwanted on the dating market. Have a boundary, have a standard. A standard is a value system. Your standards are boundaries. So we're gonna cover boundaries today. This is an educational video teaching you about boundaries. And these clips that I'm going to use, ladies and gentlemen, will be used out of fair use. Now let's go ahead and get into the meat and potatoes of this whole thing. And I'm going to go ahead and pull it up for you. Give me a second, please, as I pull it up for you. We're going to have some fun today. Let's go on and get it now.
For men, and for men only, it is okay for you to make her delete those sexy pictures that she's posting on her social media account while she's in a relationship. It is...
Yes. Lady, if you really want to be with a man, and I would highly advise every man not to really get serious about a woman who had naked pictures or half-naked pictures on a social media site anyway, but there are men who do this. But anyway, long story short, lady, if you want to be with that man, you're going to have to delete those pictures. You're going to remove them pictures, because ain't no such thing as a man who wants a woman whose body been so paraded in the streets that everybody knows what you look like. They know that you got nipple piercings. They know where your birthmarks are at, because you are putting it on the social media site for the world to see. Men, it is okay to tell that woman, get off that now. I know women ain't gonna like what I just said, but it's the truth. Don't you come up here talking about ain't no good man. When a good man comes to you, guess what? He has standards. He has boundaries. And you are overstepping his boundary when you are parading yourself like a no good for nothing $2 musty back heifer whore with your pictures out there, showing your thong, showing you doing the ceiling challenge. Have you seen this shit where they put a phone on the roof? On the ceiling, on top of a spinning ceiling fan sometime, and as the camera looks down, they want to start twerking. So you can see the backs, the musty backs, up there twerking, they popping this. I mean, come on, man. You are disrespectful. Whenever a person crosses your boundaries, don't respect your boundaries, gentlemen or ladies. That is a disrespectful person who would never respect you. Let's keep going.
It's okay for you to make her drop friends that are causing chaos and friction in your relationship.
Exactly. This is why women who are in relationships need to stay their asses away from women who are not in relationships. This is why women who are married need to stay away from women who are not married, because they got their minds on single people things. And if you are a married person, if you are a person that is in a relationship, you are going to be tempted by the things that these single women are doing. They're going to be countless handsome men. Handsome men gonna walk up to these single women, and here it is, you got your man, and you gonna have your eyes just wandering, just looking around and stuff, like a fiend or something in the middle of the night, looking around at all these different men and stuff like that. You're going to become tempted. Don't put yourselves in situations where you can be tempted. That is a boundary, lady, that you need to set for yourself. An alcoholic does not go to the bar just to see if he can keep himself from drinking. He's gonna be tempted. Alcoholics, ex-alcoholics have to have boundaries. Ex-fiends, ex-drug addicts has to have a boundary to keep them from going back to it. If you are a lady who used to be very promiscuous, who used to always jump on the ding-a-ling carousel, who didn't mind letting it all hang out, once you, quote unquote, if you change, if you went through therapy, you do not surround yourself around people who used to do those things, who still do those things that you do. That is a boundary that you must set for yourself. And gentlemen, do not settle for nothing less but perfection when it comes to women who respect your boundaries.
It is okay for you to make her get rid of her guy best friend since he wants to get too close.
Yes, I met a woman like that, and we first started talking. Now, keep in mind, I wasn't going to try to be with her. I was just trying to get between the skins. I'm just going to be real with you because I'm a man at the end of the day. This woman thought otherwise. This woman told me about a best friend she had, a male best friend, and she wanted to let me know that she had a male best friend that he wasn't going to go nowhere. I didn't care. I was going to hit anyway. But long story short, she said that they would go out on trips, on holidays and special things. They would give each other gifts and stuff, but they never had sex. I doubt that. I believe they have. But I tell you something, if they haven't, it's going to happen. If it haven't happened today as I record this video. You get what I'm saying? A guy friend has no business being more to you, lady, than what your boyfriend, your fiance, or your husband is. They just don't have, no. Why are you in a relationship with a man if you got another man as a best friend? That husband's supposed to be your best friend. That fiance supposed to be your best friend. That's what that's supposed to be. And if you want to claim to be that you're in a committed relationship, a monogamous relationship, then you must respect the boundaries of the man's emotion. Every man has boundaries when it comes to emotion. What do I mean? There is an emotional thing when you disrespect him. When the boundary is, don't you disrespect me, don't you overtalk me, don't you interrupt me, don't you make me look bad. That is a boundary that he is telling you, and as soon as you cross that boundary, he's going to feel some type of way, some type of emotion. Whenever a woman disrespects your boundary, man, you kick her the hell out your house, out of your life. That's just what it is. We live in a world today where boundaries exist everywhere. You got, what can I say? When you go to the beach, the water don't go no further. The water come up on the beach a little bit and go right back out there because there's a boundary that has been set by God there. When you see fish in the water, they don't hop out the water and start walking on the land, twerking and popping like that because they can't, because there's a boundary in nature where they can't survive outside of water. Did you know that if the earth gets an inch closer to the sun, we burn up? Or if the earth gets an inch further away than where it is right now, we freeze to them? Even there's a boundary for the earth. So let me ask you this. If animals, if nature, and if space have boundaries, gentlemen, then why the hell don't you have any boundaries? Ladies, why don't you have any boundaries? You must have boundaries to maintain order and to maintain peace of mind.
It is okay for you to make her get rid of her best friend since he brings that negative energy, and it is okay for you to make her get rid of her whole best friend because you don't want those habits rubbing off on your woman.
Yes, if she got a whole best friend, she got to go. But I'm going to tell you something. This is what this gentleman said. I get the points he's saying, but me and him see differently. I don't want no woman to have a whole friends. Because if that woman is running in a pack of no good for nothing mustard back here for hoes, I'm telling you, she a hoe too. She just pretending to not be that because she sees something in you that she likes. Is there something about you that she wants? And she know if I come to him like the hoe that I am, he ain't gonna want me. He ain't gonna want me one bit because I'm out here just sucking on sausages. He ain't gonna like that. I'm gonna tell you something. But I'm gonna go what he's saying. I think a little differently about things, but I agree with the sentiment behind what he's saying.
It is okay for you to be a man, and if she feels uncomfortable with you setting healthy boundaries, then you better fucking leave. Be a man and be proud of it.
Like he said, be a man and be proud. Yeah, but I get what he's trying to say. A lot of passion in what he was saying, but I get where you're coming from. Y'all need to think about this. Boundaries. Let me put this over here for boundary. Now pay attention to what this man saying.
I'm not going to do anything for you that doesn't benefit me unless we're...
Exactly. I'm going to back it up. I'm going to tell you why. I was telling one of my clients that I coach. I tell several of my clients, don't you ever do nothing for no woman that ain't your wife that you ain't going to enjoy. For example, if I take you out to eat because I wanted to eat. If I wanted to drive a mile to go see a pretty beach, it's because I wanted to go to the beach. If I do anything just for your pleasure, that I am catering to you, I am simping, I am doing what you want, I am putting your emotional state of being above my own, I am putting your standards and your desires above my own. Gentlemen, have a boundary. If you're going to do anything for a woman who is not your wife, you make sure you're doing it for yourself, and she can benefit from the activity that you chose, that you want to enjoy. Do not let that woman dictate everything and anything to you. You can hear her out, you can contemplate, you can consider what she's talking about, but always weave, intertwine what it is you want to do in everything that she wants to do.
I'm not going to do anything for you that doesn't benefit me unless we're exclusive. I'm not paying for no nails. I'm not paying for no hair. I'm not doing none of that shit. I'll take you to Jamaica because I want to go to Jamaica. So it's not even about the money, because that shit costs 10 times what it costs to do this.
Real.
But I'm
it's
not
about
doing
experience. We both have to have experience. Otherwise, I'm just catering to somebody who's not my bitch.
And when this fall apart, I just spent all this money. I have nothing to show for it.
Exactly. When you cater to a woman, if you don't have no boundaries and she makes you do everything after y'all break up but nothing comes from it, you out of $300, you out $1,000, you out of $3,000, $4,000. You done wasted all your damn money because you are too busy doing what she want. You got to have a boundary on your spending when it comes to dealing with women. You got to have a financial boundary, gentlemen. I'm telling you what your daddy should have told you, man. A lot of us don't get this. You're going to have boundaries in life. Manhood, masculinity consists of boundaries. A man who has no boundary is not a man at all. I don't care how well he fight. I don't care how well he dresses. I don't care how smooth and debonair he is. If he has absolutely no boundaries, that is not a man. Because manhood consists of boundaries.
And when this fall apart, I just spent all this money. I have nothing to show for it.
Me, bitch.
I don't have nothing to show for it because I didn't even enjoy.
I'm in the group chat.
I didn't even enjoy the money I spent. So, for example, for Valentine's Day, I took a chick out to Denver. We went to Ireland's concert. All the shit that we did out there, I probably spent a little bit under $3,000. I was only dating her for a couple months. It wasn't that deep. I really wanted to go. I like Ireland's. Denver is my favorite city. So it's like, I really want to do this. Do you want to come with me? If that same girl would have been like, hey, I don't even want to do that. Can you just buy me this expensitive gift? That's a fraction of the price of Denver.
Like, hell no.
Or can you just take me to Ocean?
You cut off.
Can you just take me to Ocean Prime?
No,
right? It would have been like,
me.
no, I'm not gonna do it because
it was the
I'm
fact
not.
That you wanted to go to the concert too.
Once you become my girl,
he say nails, hair.
I'll pay for that shit.
What you talking about?
Don't go too crazy.
Slide in Terry DM.
I do not and never will pay for a woman nail, hair, and all that other crap. Her bills, no, unless she is my woman. See, a lot of you gentlemen don't have boundaries because you're so desperate, so thirsty for some vagina or for some woman attention. You want some woman to validate you. Some of you think manhood is validated from women's attention. No, not whatsoever. If you're going to pay for a woman anything, nails and shit like that, she has to be yours. Do you understand? She has to be yours. A lot of you are simping out there and paying for attention. You're not paying for love or connection. You're paying for attention. She suck you up. She do things you like, but she only do it. But if you take away the money, if you take away the gifts, she don't want to be with you. You be out of money. Don't do those things. I ain't talking about not paying for dinner, but things that should be her responsibility. Man, look here. It's not that woman's responsibility for you to have a haircut. So why the hell is your responsibility to get her hair did? It ain't the girl's responsibility for you to go buy some deodorant and put on after you take a shower or a bath. So why are you out there paying for her spa treatment? Man, come on, man. That's sucker shit. One more thing. I want you to see this here. This is very good. This is going to cover men who don't have boundaries. There's a difference between good men and Pookie, Ray Ray, and Nook Nook, right? Good men have boundaries. Pookie, Ray Ray, Nook Nook, and the rest of them are boundaryless. We finna get into that because that's going to be real good.
Men who are able to set those boundaries who remain the most loyal.
Now, what she said, men who are able to set boundaries remain the most loyal. I'm not saying that they won't mess up, but they remain the most loyal. And I'm going to keep going.
Men who are able to set those boundaries who remain the most loyal. Think about it. If he can say no to you, the woman that he desires above everything, the woman he's made his own publicly, who is his status symbol, right? Which is a lot to a lot of people to say, this is my woman. This is what sets you apart from other women, is you're mine.
Yeah, the boundaryless guys tend to keep their mouth shut, but they're
Boundaryless guys keep their mouth shut. They shut the hell up. They are subservient to the woman, but they are also the most sneakiest. When a man has absolutely no boundary, then he'll cheat on you more. That's what you ladies don't understand. The fact that a man can tell you no and he's with you and that's your man, there's a stronger chance that he won't commit adultery. There's a stronger chance that he won't commit infidelity. I'm not saying that it doesn't happen. But if you got a man who runs behind you, you can tell him anything, and he has no boundaries, he lets you talk crazy to him, that very same man that you think that you are running, that very same man that you think you are controlling and being domineering over, is the same man that would cheat on you quicker than anybody else because he has absolutely no boundaries. If he has no boundaries, then it's like cheating. What's that? Cheating is a boundary, right? Not cheating. Being faithful is a boundary. Being faithful is a boundary. So if a man has no boundaries whatsoever, he will not have the boundary of being faithful to you. So he'll cross that boundary every time. Anytime it presents itself, because he's boundaryless. Pookie, Ray Ray, Nook Nook, they have absolutely no boundaries. That's why they are the loose cannons. This is why you are in toxic relationships. This is why you feel as if you are on shaky ground. This is why they always going to jail, because they don't respect boundaries. Boundaries are rules. A lot of men like that don't obey rules, don't like authority because they've never been taught to respect boundaries. So when you got a man who has absolutely no boundaries, you think you're doing something because he's staying with you because he's weak. You think you're doing something because you can talk trash to you and he'll take you back, or you can kick him out and he'll beg you to come back. You think you're doing something. But really what you're doing is taking care of a man who has absolutely no boundaries, who's willing to go sleep with your sister, sleep with your mama, catch an STD, give it back to you, have outside kids of the relationship, get another woman pregnant while she's with you because he has no boundaries or respect for any boundaries whatsoever.
There are also the guys that are sneaky. They're also the guys that don't want to piss everybody off, and they have a secret little life of who knows what. His boundarylessness seeps into and permeates other parts of his life that are not so good.
I hope we're learning something today about boundaries. I hope we are learning something today about boundaries for real. But gentlemen, you got to have boundaries. Got to have it. Let's play this.
This is why I don't talk crap about my former relationships where they failed, because I say it many a times. I was not the man that I needed to be in those situations. And I did not make my standards, my boundaries, and my requirements. I didn't stand on them the way I should have. You know, one thing that happens when you become a man on his purpose, you are given a gift. When you are on your purpose as a man and you really know what it is you stand for, the universe gives you a gift. It's called the gift of goodbye. You are willing to walk away from anybody or anything that lays opposite of your purpose. Gentlemen, get the gift of goodbye. Too many of us have sat in situations and relationships, and whether it's business, romantic, and or other, where the person wasn't doing what they were supposed to be doing, and you tried to negotiate.
Never compromise your boundaries. When he said negotiate, that's what it is. You should never have to. Some things you have to tell people that you get in a relationship with because they don't know you yet. But when they get to know you, there's some things that they should already know off the bat. They should know not to be disrespectful. You should not have to explain why you cannot disrespect me. You should not have to compromise your boundaries. You should not have to negotiate with your boundaries. That is not the person for you. And just like Kevin Samuel said, may you rest in peace, say goodbye. Say goodbye. They ain't there for you. They ain't good for you. They don't respect your boundaries. Any person who don't respect your boundaries is not good for you.
Why is it controlling? How about a guy just has some standards for himself and he's saying to himself, if I'm going to date you and we're going to be exclusive and I'm going to prioritize you in multiple ways, I have expectations of you, which means that you're not going to go out, get sloppy drunk with your friends, be around a bunch of guys that are going to be like, the whole time, and maybe behave badly because people make not so great decisions when they drink. And why are you putting yourself in that situation? I don't want to give my exclusivity to someone who's going to voluntarily put themselves in those situations. And by the way, if you have me and you're so happy with me, why do you need to do all of that?
Exactly. Boundaries. If a man tell you not to go somewhere, a woman, you don't go there. If a man say he don't like the way you dress because you represent me, you take that shit off, you put on something else that respects him and you. Why do you have a problem not respecting yourself? Why you feel like it's okay for you to be dressed like a hoe with your butt cheeks out and you got a man? No, that is not cool. Listen to this one right here.
Should a man have any say in how his woman dresses when she leaves the house? 100%. 100%. Because it's the man's job to protect and provide for the woman. So if she's walking around dressed like a slut and then people catcall her, what do you expect? When you see...
Exactly. You want a man to protect you, you got to help her sometimes to protect you. If you want a man to protect you, you put men's lives in danger when you go outside dressing like a slut. Seriously. Because you know men gonna holler at you, and some men don't have common sense, so some men will disrespect you and him because he know that you're gonna reject him or you had rejected him. Now that man gonna have to fight because he might slap you or the other guy might talk. See, it's different. He ain't fighting over you. He fighting over respect. So even though he disrespects you and then he challenges your boyfriend, he has to be a man. So he gonna probably escalate the situation. Some men are mature enough to walk away, but some things it's very difficult to walk away from. He might spit on the man. So next thing you know, they fighting. He may lose his life all because you chose to walk around and not respect the boundaries of your relationship. You chose to look like a slut when you were walking out there. You know what I mean? When you are a woman and you're in a relationship, you should be dressed modestly or you can still look sensual, but it gotta be respectful enough to your man in that relationship. You cannot walk around freely dressed like a slut. You can't do that.
See women wearing hijabs and covering themselves modestly, they're less likely to be hit on and approached in a disgusting way. So I don't think that men should be acting like that, but we have to live in a realistic world where if you dress like a slut, people are going to treat you like a slut. Well, most women would say that a man shouldn't have any say in how she dresses. She's her own person. That man is insecure by not letting her show as much as her body off to the world as she wants to. I don't think it comes from insecurity, because like the other thing is like I'm not making you dress that way. Like I'm not gonna tell you you have to dress, you have to do this. I don't care. If you want to go around the clubs without me and you want to dress like a whore, you can go be single.
Exactly. If you want to go to clubs, dress like a slut, if you want to dress like that, just be single. Just stay single. You get what I'm saying? I got one more clip when we out of here. Excuse me. Let's play this. Make sure this is loud enough. I'm not too sure.
So you don't get to hurt people and determine the outcome. You know, what you do to people or whatever you inflict on people, how they handle it is not your decision. You should respect how they handled it. You know, whether it's them not wanting to talk to you, whether it's them not wanting to deal with you, block you or anything like that, that's not your decision. And even if you apologize, you know, you don't get to determine if someone accepts your apology, regardless of how sincere your apology is.
Every breakup comes as a result of a boundary being crossed. Yeah. So you don't get to say how a person should act after you done crossed their boundary. You can't say they can't get mad at you. You can't say they tripping and all this other stuff like that. You can't do that. If the boundaries have been laid out before you, and some shit is common sense that it shouldn't be explained to you as a boundary, but if you cross these boundaries like that, you have absolutely no right to say you shouldn't feel this way about me for crossing a boundary. That's why I wanted to play that right there. So yeah. So y'all let me know what y'all think about this subject. I appreciate y'all. And I'll talk to y'all later. You hear? You know, yeah. Slut! Have a good one.